Hey guys, so today I wanted to make another interesting video. I wanted to make a video on should military groupings be separated? Should they be sold individually, each and every part of the military grouping, or should they be kept together? I'm very interested in seeing the comments and feedback that you guys will give me. And so I've got kind of a display here on the table as a reference, and I kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring you in and let's get started. All right, so let's get started. So as you see here on the table, I've got a variety of items here, and none of these basically belong together. These are just a bunch of random items I pulled out of my room just to use as an example for this video. And so again, I wanted to get your input and see what you thought about, I know it's controversial and touchy, but should military groupings be separated or should they be kept together? And so I know, not a lot of dealers are collectors. Not all sellers are attached to the items, they're trying to sell. And I understand that history doesn't really matter to some people as much as others. So, I definitely get all that. I know some people, sell military stuff as their business, their livelihood. That's their 40-hour week job, for example. I do understand that and everything. Then I know, there's some people who, serve the almighty dollar. They want to get top dollar for everything. They don't care what they have to do to get that money. And I definitely don't care for those types of people. I get along with everybody, but money isn't everything. Again, I know if you're a dealer or have business, I understand, you have to get money, pay your overhead and employees, or I understand that. I'm just talking about people, who don't have the right intentions in mind, I guess I should say. So again, so this basically right here represents a grouping, and I just got some random stuff. Again, I got like a helmet, which they didn't always bring their helmet home. I understand that. Like a fighting knife, some medals, letters, a photo, uniform, folded flag, canteen, combat boots, and photo album. And so when I see this right here, if I was to buy this, especially directly from a family, I'd want to keep it all together because I feel like it tells a story. This is the story of the veteran, in a way. Of course, we'll never know what all they went through, what all they experienced during the war and everything. But I feel like this right here tells a story. It gives us an idea of what it may have been like, being in their shoes, so to speak, or, being with them as they served our country, or even after the war, maybe even before. And so again, I see this and I get excited when I see stuff like this. I get excited when I buy groupings and everything. And I know it could be I guess a two-edged sword. And what I mean is I know a lot of times groupings are split up by the family. Just for example, a family might sell everything here on the table, but they might want to keep the medals, like if it's a shadow box or display, or they might want to keep the uniform, but not so much, the other items. You know what I mean? So I do get it that a lot of times groupings are separated by the family. They might, not want to sell everything. So I do understand that. But for me, this is just me speaking. If y'all give me your feedback, I honestly, for me, I just feel that it's wrong, and that once the items are split up, it's like part of the history or almost the veteran's legacy in a way is gone. You know what I mean? Especially if say I was the person to buy the whole grouping, everything, the family was going to sell everything because they didn't want it, need it, care for it, or whatever. They just want to go to a good home. They sold everything, kept nothing. Then I just feel like, I should keep it together and try to sell it, as a group to someone else or keep it, for my own collection. Now, I do know groupings have gone up in price. I know a lot of people don't have $500 or $800 or $1,200 to buy a whole grouping. And so some people that collect, they might not have the money to buy everything, for example, if it was sold in just one large group or lot. And so they might just have to pick and choose what they're able to afford. But something that bothers me is when a grouping is intentionally separated. We see it a lot of times on eBay. I actually just went through an experience that was not very fun trying to keep a grouping together because the seller wanted to sell stuff separate. So to me, just for example, okay, I'm not going to keep this uniform all together. You know what? I'm going to sell the jacket by itself. I'm going to list the pants by itself, the shirt by itself. You know what? I'm going to take these dog tags away from the uniform, and I'm not going to sell them as a set. I'm going to sell these dog tags individually. I'm going to sell the helmet, separately. you know what, I'm going to take these metals out of the grouping. I'm not going to sell them in the shadow box. I'm going to take this shadow box apart and I'm going to sell them individually. All these love letters and correspondence with family members home and everything, you know what, I'm going to take these away and I'm going to sell them separately. You get kind of where I'm going with this? Like, it bothers me. I feel like it's wrong. Some of y'all might be disagreeing with me right now, and that's okay. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me mad. You have your point of view or whatever, your opinion. That's fine. It's totally fine. And again, just for example, you know what? If I was a seller, I think I can get more money separating all this. So I'm not. I'm gonna take that flag out and I'm gonna sell it by itself, or this canteen, or these boots, or this photo album. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna keep it together. I'm Instead of one large listing or one large group of items being sold, I'm gonna list 15 different listings. And you know what? If somebody wants to keep it together, they should just hope that they win all of the auctions. Again, I'm talking kind of like on eBay or online auction type thing. If they want it that bad, they should just pay whatever it costs or whatever it takes to keep it together. They should just fork out $1,000,000 if that's what it takes. If they want it that bad, then money shouldn't be a problem, or it shouldn't be an obstacle for them. They should, whatever, take a loan from the bank or use credit cards or go into debt just to try to keep stuff together, because as the seller, I want to get $1,000,000 for this stuff. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's wrong. I don't like that, honestly. I think stuff like that hurts the military collecting community, especially, purists like myself who like to keep stuff together. And again, I do know families separate stuff, and that's unfortunate and everything. And I do know it is an expensive hobby, not just collecting groupings. If you collect firearms or just other things, it's gotten very expensive for sure. Hopefully, the prices of things will come down in the near future. I mean, all we can do is, I guess, hope and pray. But again, it just bothers me, them being separated, and hopefully I'm making sense with what I'm saying. Not trying to be silly or anything, but I've seen a lot of craziness and stuff over almost 20 years of collecting now. I've been collecting, I think, maybe around 17, 18 years, and I've just seen some very nutty stuff. And again, just think about it. Once all these parts are, even like there's even people, they'll take patches off of uniforms, and it's just, to me, it's just crazy, honestly. I'm like, I know a lot of times you can get more money for selling things individually. I get it. And like I said, you know what? Instead of getting whatever $800 for all this on the table, if I separate it, I might get 1,000 or 1,200. But is it really all about money? Does it always have to be about money, or can it just be about trying to keep something historic together, the legacy, honoring and preserving the memory of the veteran, because we know most of them have passed. Now, obviously, some of them, might not be bothered if, say, they were still living and stuff, because we know a lot of veterans would get rid of their own stuff, but again, just it would just bother me though to separate everything, especially. So here's the thing, especially if it has their serial number, their name, their laundry number, without a shadow of a doubt that all these items belong to the same soldier, the same Marine, the same airman, the same sailor, the Coast Guard. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're all named, what I mean? And for a fact they belong to that soldier. You know what I mean? So but just imagine though, again, not only buying the medals separate from the grouping, but even separating them, they're being sold individually. And what if, I know they don't, but what if they had the soldier's name on each one and they're sold individually? You got to hope you outbid all these other people that might be interested. Same thing again, like the helmet and the flag and boots and photo album. Stuff like that's especially personal. A photo album, letters, correspondence, again, medals and the uniform and flag itself. I know things like, maybe a canteen or a helmet or something like that, a lot of those weren't brought back. I understand that, but but again, I just kind of wanted to pick you guys' brain, just kind of see how you felt about it, get different perspectives or point of views, because I know some of you are dealers, some of you are collectors, some are, maybe not be so much in the history as some of the others. Some are purists, some aren't. And again, I'm not picking on anybody. I just thought this kind of be an interesting or maybe fun topic to bring out there for discussion. But just let me know what you guys think. Should military groupings be separated? Should they be sold separately just to get more money? Just let me know what you think about it. I could, continue on for a few more minutes, but I think I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. But again, just take another one final look here at all this stuff. And again, just imagine that it belonged to this man here. Say all of this was his. Again, it's just a random photo. And you know what? It starts going here and there. You know what? Somebody online in Washington buys the helmet. Somebody in Florida buys the boots. Somebody at a show buys the uniform. Somebody, whatever, in New York buys the medals. These letters, whatever, they're just in a closet somewhere because they didn't sell. You know what I mean? Just think about that. Or it'd be better, you know what? I'm going to sell this to someone who will appreciate it, give it a good home, display it, put it on a mannequin, put it in a display showcase. It could be the main awesome, really cool item of their whole collection, and just think about stuff like that and let me know what you're thinking. I appreciate all you guys' support. This is just another random video idea I had. Let me know what you think. More videos are on the way. I appreciate it so much. God bless all of you, and I'll be getting back to you soon. Thank you.